Good morning. How you doing? It's Tuesday, and it's 7:22 in the morning. I had turned on my Grundig 750, which is using an external antenna, the G5RV, and WWV was at 10 megahertz, was coming in loud, clear, perfect. So I tried tuning WWV on this Eton Satellite radio. That was in my office, and I couldn't get anything, just noise from the RF environment. And I did promise a couple of people that I would do one more video on this Eton Satellite radio using some of the things that people have told me about the radio that I overlooked in the manual. And so we're going to attempt to do that, and we're going to use the Tecsun PL-880 radio. So these are both newer radios. This one came out last year, and this one just came out a few weeks ago. So if you want a new portable radio, these are the two radios that are on the market right now that are new, less than a year old. This one's almost a year old now. Maybe it is a year old. Price range, I'll talk about that for a second. This radio, I think it came out originally and it was about $200. It's now down to $160, $159 on Amazon. This one came out about $200. It's still about $197, but it's a new radio, so I'm sure this radio will go down in price, and they'll probably end up about the same price. So much for price. So right now I've got them both tuned to WWV. I'm using batteries in both radios. You know, one person commented that maybe it's the AC adapter that I was using on the Eton that comes with the Eton radio, because some radios, the AC adapter is not that high a quality and it introduces noise. So I'm not using the AC adapter. I put some batteries in it. The Tecsun is using batteries. I'm using their internal telescopic antennas. The Tecsun whip antenna is, I would say, about 6 inches longer than the Eton. Slightly difference there. It doesn't fully come forward so that it's totally vertical, but it's probably maybe 10 degrees off of vertical, so it's pretty close. The one thing I noticed when I was setting up this morning is the antenna on the Eton has a double swivel, and you got to be really careful in that you don't turn it the wrong way and snap it off, because since it's a brand new radio, it's very stiff. You have to be very, very careful you don't break that off, because if you break that off, man, you're in trouble. And I'm really in trouble because I'm planning on sending this radio back, so I don't want to break it any more than it's, well, we won't go into that. So anyway, I'm going to turn the Tecsun up first, turn the volume up. Here's the ticks. Some noise. And what's interesting is this does not have a S meter like in a bar graph or something like that. It has numbers, and they're not in S units. And those numbers are pretty low right now, but it's still picking up the signal. I'm going to wait until it gets to the minute so you can hear the male voice. It's coming up because you usually get that pause there. Okay, and it's, you know, like anything about shortwave, it's coming and going. So we'll turn this one down. You can still hear the ticks. And we'll turn this one up. I don't hear anything. No ticks, no nothing. And we'll give it some time to maybe fade in and fade out. As a matter of fact, we'll move it around. There, I can hear it. I got my hand next to it. There, look at that. When I grabbed the antenna, the volume came up of the signal. Now I can hear it. It's distorted. And I got it tuned right on. It's AM, it's not in signal sideband. Nice, loud and clear. I lose it. And of course, I don't want to sit there with my hand on the antenna. So we'll put that over here. Come back to this guy. We'll turn the volume down. Turn the volume. Oh my gosh, it's raining. Didn't expect that. Yeah. Barely hear the ticks, but I do hear them. Big difference. So you can see it appears that both radios, the built-in whip antenna is insufficient. Most likely because it's too short. And adding the capacitance through my hand makes a big difference. Let's go back to this one. And the conditions are changing because it's raining outside, which it wasn't a few minutes ago. Still not even with the the Tom antenna. This one picks it up, but it's still pretty much in the mud. We'll turn it back down. The Texan is doing as good as the Eton, with the Eton requiring my hand on the antenna. And then when I add my hand to this antenna, it's very loud, very clear. Okay, so much for WWV. We could try 5 megahertz for the heck of it. No, didn't expect anything to be there. No. Okay, let's try. I'm going to use this now since it does seem to have better reception, more sensitivity. I'm going to use this as my baseline. So we're going to try to tune in some amateur radio stations. So let's go to, let's try 3.9. Yeah, there we go. It's probably in single sideband. So we'll go to single sideband, probably lower. Whoops. Okay. That's the, gotta remember, excuse me, gotta remember how to use the radio. Why did that change? I forgot how to use this radio already. There we go. How do I get in the single sideband? Panic. Oh, I was pushing these buttons instead of these. That's why. Okay, that particular conversation is gone. There's another one. No muting. Notice, no muting when tuning. Trying to tune that guy in. There he is. Tuned in. That's easy. Loud and clear. Okay. Now let's Oh, that's a net, so that may last a while. Okay, let's go to this guy and go to 3910. Turn the volume up. He's there. So now we'll go to single sideband, and we need to go to lower. That's upper. There's lower. There we go. Pretty decent. The guy must be pretty close because it's coming in strong. Mr. Troy, Warren. Warren is local. So that's probably within 100 miles of me. Okay, there's 4K. That may be Warren. Okay, so that's doing pretty good. Now, the audio quality I don't think is as good as the bigger speaker here on the Texan. We're getting a little bit of interference. Of course, that's a different person talking, different location. So that's working. I'd single sideband, working fine. By the fact that I knew the frequency from this radio, I didn't have to go search for it and deal with that muting. Let me turn this back down. So again, if you know the frequency, then you can go directly to it and you don't have to get involved with this muting situation. But typically, for me, I'm scanning the band all the time, so that muting, that kills it for me. Now, let's see if I can get my voice back. And we'll go out of single sideband, and we'll go to like 6 megahertz, which is usually 6 megahertz and above is active in this time of day, coming from south of us in Florida. Yeah.
El Frente Amplio por la Paz aseguró que las guerrilleras Fuerzas Armadas Revolucionarias de Colombia, Ejército del Pueblo, han cumplido
that's
con
very
el
strong.
fuego unilateral.
Let's turn it down. Okay, let's go out of single sideband. AM. Okay, how do I get out of single sideband? Thought if I just hit AM, it'll take me out. Okay, there we go. Like I said before, this radio takes a second to respond to any command you give it, so to speak. Okay, let's go to 600, 6 megahertz. See what we got. Loud and clear. So as I said before, my experience with the predecessor, which is the Grunic G3, it was a very sensitive radio. And this one, as I said before, is a very sensitive radio. Excuse me. Now let's see if I can find a station that's not quite as strong. Turn the volume up here. Okay, there's 6.15. I think that's still pretty close. It's coming in pretty clear. A little bit of noise. Coming in good. Now, let's try. Oh, one thing I didn't try. Let me go back to it. I meant to try. Back up, back up. 3.10 single sideband. Lower sideband. Okay. Now, one thing I overlooked in my initial videos is that when you're in single sideband mode, you can get into a fine-tuning mode to fine-tune that sideband signal. And you do that by pushing here on the tuning button. Went to slow, or must have been in fast, and then it goes to fine. And then we turn the volume up. Now this is right on already. See, it went to Mickey Mouse because I tuned away from where the signal was. But there was no muting. No muting. Beautiful. Then we're back to where it was. Now, if I hit it again, it'll go to stop, which is locked, fast, and slow. And this is how you would normally find a station, either in AM mode or single sideband. So this is what I don't like. That I don't like. So if this radio would tune in AM and single sideband slow like it does in FIME, which is basically, I'm guessing, cutting in like a BFO circuit, so it's not really tuning anymore, because if you noticed when I was in that fine mode, the frequency did not change. So if it would do that in slow and fast mode, not have that muting, this would be a good radio. I would really like this radio. But this problem here, it's a killer for me. That. It's unusable. So anyway, I digress. So anyway, what I wanted to point out there was I missed, in my initial shows, I missed this capability of fine-tuning when you're in single sideband. So that capability is there, it works, it doesn't mute, we're all happy. So now I wanted to, where I was going before is I wanted to use the synchronous detection circuit. And, excuse me, let me find the 6149 again and get out of single sideband. I guess I don't know how to get out of single sideband on this radio. Oh gosh. 6149. And it just switches me back and forth. That does it. If I hit the sync button, it takes me out of single sideband. Duh. Okay. But I'm now at the different frequency. Okay. 6149. You would think I've used this radio enough I would know how to use it. Okay. Turn the volume up. And that signal's gone. See if it's still here on this radio. Still there. Now what? 6149. There. Helps if you push the right button. There we go. Now it's in and out, in and out. So this is where the synchronous detector circuit is supposed to help. It's supposed to take out the carrier frequency that's coming from this station, this broadcast. and insert a constant one so that you don't have that in and out with the signal varying. That's my understanding. Here we go. Okay, it's syncing. Garbled. So it's syncing the lower sideband. So let's try it again. Turned it off. There it is. The signal's there, but it's in and out. Sync again. Now, oops. One person suggests that I let it sit there and sync for a few seconds, not just immediately. So we're going to leave it there. Now let's see if I have to tune it. There, it's better there. Kind of distorted still. Let me see if I can fine-tune that. No, not available. Let's change to lower sideband. I mean, it's in lower sideband. Let's change to upper. And we'll have to probably have to tune again. Okay, there it is. We'll take it out of sync. Back into sync. It's almost like it's changing the filter. Can only go up to 4K in SIG mode because I am in upper sideband or sideband in this case. Take it out. Then we'll check the filter. See, we go up to 6K. So that was something else that somebody else pointed out, that when you're in sideband mode, single sideband mode, which the synchronous detector circuit takes you into that mode, your filter width, your maximum filter width, drops down from 6 kilohertz to 4. That's your maximum. So consequently, that means the audio quality will be diminished because you're letting less of the bandwidth of the signal to come through, of the audio to come through. So it's a trade-off in that the synchronous detection is supposed to keep your station from fading in and out, but you lose bandwidth by the fact that it's gone to single sideband. So anyway, it does work, but I don't think, to me, it doesn't improve things, at least in my test of one. So I hope I've cleared up some things. Again, right today, if I had $200 to spend, I would get the Tecsun. Now, the Tecsun circuit for synchronous detection, which I forgot how to use it because it's a hidden feature. It's not an advertised feature. It doesn't work very well at all. And I think that's why they didn't advertise it, because they hadn't finished the tweaking of it. So I would say it's even a little worse than the Eton synchronous detection as far as that circuit is concerned. The audio quality because of the bigger speaker and a different design speaker, is much better on the Tecsun. Tuning is much easier. You don't have to use this button to switch tuning modes. It's got the fast tuning button up here, knob, and a fine tuning one down here. So that makes it easier, especially when you're tuning single sideband. So anyway, I hope, like I said, I cleared up some things, and it's time to box up this guy and send it back and wait for maybe an upgrade. Now this one went through a similar problem to Tecsun, in that the first one's out, which I got, had some additional problems, and they changed the firmware. I sent mine back, and they sent me a newer one with newer firmware, which fixed some of the problems, but not all. So hopefully Eton will do something similar, and maybe in 3 or 4 months there'll be a new version out with some of these problems, like the muting when tuning, fixed. And like I say, right now, if it didn't have that problem, I would probably keep the radio. So that's the show. Thanks for watching. I gotta go see if my cat's outside in the rain. Bye-bye.